Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Barry J. Solomon, father of five. That's five children, creator of the Legacy Tribe. Legacy, 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 legacy. Today, I'm going to talk about stress. I have been doing some strenuous research, and I've been learning a lot about myself lately in regards to stress, letting go of things. One thing I really had to let go of recently was I was really comfortable with my vehicle, my vehicle, and I had to get to a point where I didn't want people to I didn't want anybody, my kids, I didn't want my kids to get dirt in it. I didn't want my kids to break anything in there. I didn't want anything to go missing in my van. I was really attached to my van and the contents of my van, right? And so I had to learn recently over the past 2 weeks something I've been reading, which I'll share with you at the end of this hangout, which really helped me out, which really helped me to get through that, letting that go. I had to learn how to let that go. Let the contents go. Let the van go. If it gets dirty, it gets dirty. If something gets broken, it gets easily replaced. And so I had to come to these realizations. And these were stressful things. It really stressed. They kind of got to me a little bit. But I made a decision with a little help from what I'm going to share with you at the end of this hangout. I made a decision that, you know what? Like I said, if something gets broke, it'll easily get fixed. If something is dirty, it can easily get cleaned. And I just had to come to that realization and just let it go. Let it go. So today I'm going to talk about stress and how to get stress out of your life, how to live your life in a way so that when a stressful situation slaps you right in the face, you have resources to deal with that situation to where your heart rate won't get to racing and your skin won't get flush and you won't start having these anxiety attacks and the stuff that people go through during a stressful situation. First of all, what is stress? What is it? I mean, everybody always says, "Oh, I'm stressed out," or "You look stressed," or "I feel stressed," or everybody's stressed out, especially if you live in one of the major cities in the United States, Los Angeles, for example. Living in Los Angeles, I within the past 2 weeks, I witnessed two parking lot fights. Not fights, but really arguments. One argument was this man parked too close to this lady's car on the front row of a grocery store, and so the guy is upset. He calls her out of her name. She jumps out the car, and they're going back and forth, and he threatens to call the police. Oh man, he's about 60 years old and a younger lady, and they're going back and forth about this situation. His car is too close to her car, and she couldn't get out because he parked too close. And then just today, I saw another situation. I'm at the car wash, and this lady is behind me, but she's kind of close to the gas pump. And so this guy, he tries to get through, and he's kind of honking at her because he wants to get through, and she's in line for the car wash. And so he gets out of his car after backing up, turning around, backing up a couple times, and turning around. He gets out of his car angry and starts yelling at this lady through the window. Black lady. Let me say that again. Black lady. So you can probably guess what happened. She gets out the car. I'm witnessing this because she's right behind me. So I'm just looking in the rearview mirror like, oh man, it's about to go down. And so she gets out the car and she starts arguing with him. And he's like, oh, we have to live together. And he's like, we have to live together. Be smart. Don't be stupid. And she's saying something to him. I really couldn't say what she was saying, but stressful situations. People are stressed out in the major cities, and they have these altercations over stuff that is meant is this. It's like little bitty stuff people have altercations over. A parking space? Are you serious? I can't get through because your car's in the way. You're in my way. Are you serious? And so, stress is actually a code word for fear. We fear that if we don't get something done, that maybe our we won't be loved or we won't be liked. If we don't get XYZ done for our wife won't treat us as nice, or our husband might not treat us as nice, or our coworkers or our bosses might not treat us as nice if we don't get these certain things done, if we don't meet these certain deadlines. And so a lot of us, we live in this fear of, if I don't get this done by this time, there's going to be this consequence, and we are fearful of that consequence. So we're in a rush, or we're stressed out, or we're under this pressure to meet this particular demand at work or at home, or maybe it's just a demand that we put on ourselves. And so stress is a code word for fear. We're really fearful of something not happening, and what that consequence of that thing not happening will be. The consequence of not meeting that deadline, the consequence of not doing this particular thing for this particular person. Let's see. If we feel threatened, if we feel threatened, that's another part of fear, part of stress. If we feel threatened by a certain situation or a certain person or something happening or not happening. And so also want to mention that fear often leads to what is called depression, and depression is nothing but anger turned inward. That's depression. That's the definition of depression. And so what I want to focus on as far as getting stress out of your life, what would your life be like? What if you could, any situation that happens to you throughout your work day at work, throughout your day at home, out and about in the neighborhood, running errands in the streets, what if no matter what somebody said to you, no matter what happened, you know how people say, if something happens bad to us in the morning, we say it's going to be one of those days, right? We say it's going to be one of those days. But that's a negative statement. That's a negative way to start the day. If you're already starting your day with it's going to be one of those days, guess what? It is going to be one of those days. And so a lot of times we start our days in the wrong state of mind, in the wrong state. We'll call this state management. And state management has a lot to do with never ever having to worry about stress again. What if you could live your life from the inside out instead of from the outside in? Let me say that again. What if you could live your life from the inside out instead of from the outside in? Let me take it a little bit deeper. What we have on the inside of us is what's projected in our external world. The way we live internally, how we live our life internally affects everything that happens on the outside world. But what if you could change your entire internal being, your entire internal life, your behavior, how you respond, how you react to certain things that happens in your daily life? What if you could change your internal self so that a new external self could be projected onto the world or into any situation? But what do I mean by living life inside out versus living life outside in? When I say living life from the outside in, I say that most people, they live their lives according to external factors. I got a flat tire, so now I'm pissed off and I'm mad and I'm angry at the world. My spouse said something to me that just irked me on the way out the door this morning. So now you go throughout your day and you're thinking about what your wife or your husband said, and it's just getting to you all day, and you're just this evil, mad, upset person at work, at the gas station, everywhere you go, at the grocery store, in line. You're upset. If somebody says hi to you, you're like, hi. Somebody says how are you, you're like, I'm fine. And so that is an example of living living life from the outside in. Every external factor that happens affects how you feel on the outside. Every little thing that happens affects how we feel on the inside, and then we project that towards other people. Road rage, for example. The way I look at road rage is this: something happened in that person's life. You happen to be in their way at that time, and you become an obstacle to that person. You actually become a threat to that person because they're trying to go this way, they're going like this, and you stopping. And so they go crazy. You've seen cars, if you're one of those slow drivers like me, you've seen those cars and they come up behind you and then they go like this. They really jerk really fast from around you, and they might honk, they might look at you crazy. It's called living your life from the outside in. All the external factors affect how you feel on the inside. Everything that happens to you externally affects your entire day, affects your entire week. And so what I wanted, my purpose for this training, this stress training, this is just kind of an overview of stress and kind of an overview of what's taking place during those stressful moments, and just to give you an idea of living your life from the inside out or the outside in, and how all these external factors influence how we react, how we respond in our everyday lives. So what if there was a way to live life like me? I have learned recently how to live my life from the inside out, which means I have been working on developing myself in a way that when I'm presented with something that normally my old self, if I was presented with that, I will respond with anger, or I will respond in frustration, or I would have a different response to this particular situation. But I learned that just by working on myself internally, like for example, when I mentioned my van in the beginning of this video, that was an internal thing that I had to fix. I had to make a decision to where I just let it go. I decided not to pay attention to that particular thing in my world. You see, our world is not the actual world. It's just our interpretation of the world based on our past experiences, our past emotions, our past experiences and emotions and ideas, things that happened to us in the past. That's what determines our present world and how we see the world. It's not really the world as it is. It's just the world as we see it, if that makes sense. Hope I'm making some sense. Am I making sense to you? And so back to the van example, I had to change that model of the world. I had to let it go. I had to pay attention. See, if I tell you right now, right here, if I say there's a pink elephant running outside in front of your house, what did you think about right now? You thought about a pink elephant running outside in front of your house. That's the image that was projected onto your brain of a pink elephant running outside of your house, because you paid attention to that in this particular moment in time. So whatever we pay attention to is what affects us, is what has an effect on us. If we pay attention to that thing that happened, that flat tire on the way to work, if we focus and we pay attention to that all day, and we think about that, and we think about how it made us late, and think about how we got to write up at work because of it, or maybe we didn't, but just the thought of it happening, just the inconvenience of it happening, we hold that feeling and that emotion inside, and then we have a bad day the rest of that day. So what if you could learn how to pay attention to something different? What if you could learn how to pay attention to different things, so that when you're presented with that stressful situation, it just bounces off of you? What if you can live your life in a manner to where you're always happy, and you don't have to deal with this when the stressful situation, everybody else around you is dealing with this stress and all these stressful situations, and you're just sitting there and you're looking around and you're just, and you're seeing the way you used to be, because you're not that person anymore, because now you have a new set of resources that you can use, that you can tap into, to where you no longer live your life, no longer external factors no longer affect how you behave. External factors or experiences don't affect how you feel. External factors and experiences don't affect how you respond. What if you could respond in a very what if you can respond in a really cool manner with with the same situation, where before you would explode, or before you would snap back at the person. So I wanted to just share with you. This is just the first day in this series on that I'm covering stress, and it's not just for you, it's for me as well. I'm learning a lot about myself during this 7 days. It's going to be a 7-day training, and we're just going to go over some stress and some stressful situations, and I hope you're getting some value out of this training. If you are, go on ahead and shoot me a comment, shoot me a message on Facebook, on Google Plus, and say, hey, I saw your stress management day 1, and I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen in day 2. Now, here's what I'm going to cover tomorrow, day 2 in this series, 7-day series. Tomorrow, I'm going to cover some ways that you can get through these stressful situations. We're going to do maybe we'll do some exercises, and I'll share some things with you that I have learned as far as getting through these situations. For those of you that have stuck around and watched this all the way to the end, in the beginning of this video, I said I was going to share something with you that has really helped me to just let go of a lot of things that I was holding on to, things that I was paying attention to that I no longer pay attention to, I no longer hold on to. I let it go, and I feel so free. I feel so free right now just from letting those things go. So the name of the book that I'm reading, it's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Pick it up. You can either pick it up at Amazon, you can get it on Amazon, or you can go to Barnes and Noble, or maybe even at your local library and rent it for free. But that's the name of the book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be sharing with you comes from not only that book, but some other personal development stuff and that I've been learning over the past couple of years, and I'm kind of putting it all together for this series. So that's the purpose, and I really want to help some people, actually, because so many people. Before I go, I just want to read you these statistics. These stress statistics. It says percentage of people who regularly experience physical symptoms caused by stress. 77% of Americans are stressed out right now. People who regularly experience psychological symptoms caused by stress. 73%. People that feel they're living with extreme stress, 33%. People who feel their stress has increased over the past 5 years, 48%. Half of the Americans feel like their stress has increased, 48%. Cited money and work as the leading causes of their stress, 76%. And so, knowing these statistics, I felt that it was a good time to just come on here and share some of the stuff that I have learned. Oops, what did I do? Hopefully I'm still on. I lost my screen. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here and share some of the stuff that I've learned about stress, and I'm going to figure out how to get my screen back. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, some of the stuff I learned, those are some of the statistics on stress. I wanted to share that with you. Thanks for watching. I hope you got some value from this. Come back tomorrow. I want to share with you some other ways, some other things that I have learned that have helped me to where I really don't stress over anything anymore, because I've learned to let shit go. Excuse my French. But thanks for watching. My name is Barry J. Solomon, father of five children, creator of the Legacy Tribe. Legacy, 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 legacy. Thanks for watching. I will see you tomorrow for day 2 of the training, where we're going to go over some exercises that there's things that you can do to actually alleviate the stress in your life, the current stress, whatever stressful situation you experience on a daily basis, or in your family, or just in general. Talk to you soon.